Powers. I'm Dawn, this is Caron, and today we are with Rebel Star Tarot's Ivan. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We get to be outside today, which is super awesome.
Yes.
So tell us how you got into reading tarot cards and how you started on this journey.
It was an interesting transition because my previous project, I played in a band, and me being the main creative force behind the music, it took all my energy, my money, just everything with social media. And in the end, after a few years, I just lost interest in it. So the day that I decided not to do music anymore, that I needed a break, a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders, which I haven't had that feeling before. At that time too, I was due to take some vacation time, so I took a week off work. So during my week off, she surprised me with the tarot deck, and I spent that whole entire week going through the cards, and it drew more of my interest, and I started putting out the cards in the different classes, the different suits, you know, the cups, pentacles, and all that. There was cards that spoke out with what I was going through at the moment, like the Eight of Cups, moving away from something that's no longer of interest to you, that you put so much energy in, like the cups are neatly stacked. That represented my music that I was doing, and just walking away from that. So I identified with that. I identified with the Hermit card, where it's a time for getting away from the outside world, and a lot of introspective, a lot of self-reflection and thinking. So I thought that was pretty cool right away, that I could connect with certain cards off the bat right away that represented what I was going through.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
And with that, a tarot festival coming up in Elora a month after that, I asked Christine, I go, what do you think about us checking it out there? There's a local tarot reader, Liz Worth, who was doing an intro to tarot workshop. We signed up for that. We took that, then we signed up for an intro to tarot shop later in the summer. I think it was Canada Day weekend at the Healing Moon. So that was cool. So getting a little bit more study under my belt. And from there I kept studying, I kept buying books. And then in the fall there was a huge 12-week tarot certification course over at the Happy Soul in Toronto with Joey Warchuk. And that's what really opened the doors and made me think, hey, I could do something with this on the side, or a possible career. And once I was done with that course, that's how Rebel Star Tarot started, December 2019, when I completed the course. And I started doing a bit of, they have open houses, which is like 3 hours of people coming in for free 5-minute tarot readings. So that's how I got my feet in the fire of doing public readings.
I have a question. Why the name Rebel Star Tarot?
Because my band was called the Go Box Rebels, and I've always been against the grain growing up. I've always been rebellious and went the opposite direction, trying to forge my own path or trail. So I kept the rebel part of the band name, and came up with Rebel Star Tarot, and the star representing like a guiding light that's always showing up on a constant basis.
God, I love that.
And you know, I notice a few things. A lot of intuitive people, or people that take up spiritual disciplines to some degree, always feel like they're a little different, you know, long before they start to do this sort of thing. I know I felt that way, and you felt that way, and
Yeah, like a misfit.
yeah.
Misunderstood.
Now, the other thing, which is interesting to me, is doing tarot or a lot of other spiritual disciplines. It's a creative process and an intuitive process, and so is music.
It is.
So it might have helped kind of develop you prior to you doing this.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is that
Definitely,
what
yeah.
you feel?
It's-
Yeah.
Feel that?
It's the same creative outlet, just get things off my mind. And
One thing that you mentioned already was that the relief that you felt when you made that decision, and I think I've been there too. Like I had a practice for 20 years, you know, and you spend so much time and energy and money
yeah,
on something you've been pouring your heart and soul into, and it's really hard from a logical perspective to walk away from that. But how much better it feels when you listen to possibly what you're being guided to do. Like we don't have to always do what we've always done. You know, sometimes a chapter comes to an end, and
It takes courage, though.
it takes a lot of courage. And so what was it like when you did that? Like, what were your bandmates like? How did they respond?
well, near the end, I've had friends who helped me out. I'm very grateful that they've done that. That shared their time in doing that. So, but they understood. One of them said at the last show I played, one of them said, "Oh, he'll be back," and that there, but I haven't come back yet. I think the last gig I did was April 2019. I was already 2-3 weeks in learning the tarot, and I probably touched the guitar like 3 times since then. And I'm surrounded by guitars. I think I have just as much tarot decks as I have guitars. So.
Wow, I love that. You did a reading for me.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was so good. We had a meeting over Zoom, and then I asked a question, and you drew 3 cards for me, right?
Yes.
And this was your 3-card spread, which is your 30-minute reading.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And the question that I asked was, I have a lot of different things on the go, and none of them really, they're all in 8 different directions. Like I feel like an octopus pretty much, having 8 arms. And I've been doing that, kind of just going with the flow for a few years now, and I wanted to know if there was a way for me to narrow it down, because from a logical point of view, and as a coach and therapist, then you whenever you want to move forward with something, it's always recommended that you narrow your focus. So I asked you to help me bring some clarity on what to focus on, like what to say goodbye to and what to move forward with.
And you expected one answer.
But that's not what happened.
No.
You pulled 3 cards, and I'll put the cards up on the screen right now.
First card was the Ace of Pentacles,
Ace of Pentacles.
which represented the last 6 months of what's going on. And with the Ace of Pentacles, it was showing that in the past 6 months, you must have taken a new opportunity, or maybe taken on a new study or a new career.
And it's all true. I got awarded with everything. Like, oh my goodness, it's been plentiful the last 6 months when it comes to career opportunities, study, everything. So you're bang on. I got my basket of goods.
Yes, manifesting.
Yes.
Big time.
And then the second card is the present moment.
Yeah, the present card, which was the 9 of Pentacles, which is a feeling of abundance currently at the moment. And with Pentacles, the element is earth, so grounding. You feel grounded, you feel secure, you have everything around you. Just said that's how you feel at the moment. It's a card that's saying like you have no worries, you have no complaints.
Yeah, and that's true. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, and look at where you started about a year ago and how far you've come.
Yeah, a year and a half, walking away from everything that made sense.
Yeah.
Everything I'd worked towards. You think, oh my God, I'm walking away from everything. I've got things, starting over with nothing. And when you
On your own.
on my own, and you're
In a sabbatical.
I took that leap of faith. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I didn't know where I was going to live, or anything. But I just knew that I needed to. Like I felt it, and everything worked out so well. Yeah. So it's just so cool that. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, I have no worries. I've been so fortunate, and I'm very grateful to it for everything as well. Yeah. And then the third card.
The third card
is what's to come.
Yeah, the future card. The next 6 months, the next 2 years, was the Chariot card. A card of movement. A card of nothing's going to hold you back. Nothing's going to slow you down. All green lights. And also a card that talks about being in control as well too. So you're in control of your destiny and what's going to happen in the next while. But we weren't sure about that. That didn't really answer your question of what to focus on. So we pulled the clarifier card on top of that, which was the 4 of Cups. And the cups, the element is water, it's feelings, it's emotions. But the character on the card, he looked bored. He was like waiting around, taking a break, waiting around to see what else is coming next. And in that card you have another divine gift, just like the Ace of Pentacles, making a guest appearance again on that card, handing you a 4th cup, saying, if you pay attention around you, there is something else coming your way, or you will find your answer eventually, but it's going to take time.
Right. And it's not the time right now for me to pick a focus. And on the card, he's literally like kind of relaxing underneath the tree, and he's got his cups all there.
Maybe your next choice is going to be from the heart, and don't think too much with your head on the next logical step. Your next choice is going to be from the heart.
That's right. And you did say that, and then you pulled a card to find out why I asked
yes,
the question.
The shadow card. And the shadow card could be 2 things. It could be sort of a blockage, or it could mean subconsciously in the back of your subconscious, the rooted reason why you came to the reading or why you even asked that question, that hidden fuel for the fire that's pushing you to ask that question. And we got the Three of Swords. And with the Three of Swords, I mean, you have the logic of the swords piercing the emotional heart. So there was a conflict between logic and emotion.
And that's so true, because you just sometimes, it's almost, I don't know what it is, but like I just sometimes feel like I should be doing more, and I've said that before
So many times.
Yes.
It is a card of disappointment, of sorrow, of being let down in a way. Maybe you're thinking that you're laying yourself down in the process.
Or others. I would say it was actually more for others, which there's no outside pressure. It's putting on myself.
Exactly. But it's, you think you should be doing more for others.
Yeah. And I get in my head.
You do.
Yeah. So that's exactly.
We've had this conversation so many times.
I know. And one thing I want the viewers to understand with this reading is that I've always thought of myself as being pretty good with patience and just kind of letting things happen. However, when things kind of just keep going and there's no big bang or anything, that's when now I'm at a point where I was wondering, okay, am I missing something? You know, like, how come it's still the same? Like, how long do I need to be patient? And so I'm just going to stay and continue to be patient until it's actually time. And
it's worked for you.
It's
so
always worked,
far,
yeah,
right?
It has. But it's funny how, you know, even those who think we're good at going with the flow, we still get in our way sometimes.
And this is from your participation in choosing, because I cut the cards when I shuffle the cards, and I split them into 3 piles. You chose the pile you wanted. So those were the 3 top cards from that pile was what came out.
Yeah, the reading was exactly. Yes, I wanted a firm answer, but in my heart of hearts, I know that it's still.
Well, that is a firm answer.
That's right. It is a firm answer, just not
the one you were.
That's not the one I was
hoping for, expecting, really.
Yeah.
But
it's the one I need to hear.
Yes. To me, it's what you need to hear.
Yeah, definitely. And it just validated how I'm feeling. Yeah, that even though I have many different opportunities and lots of things on the go, that I'm still to keep going that way. Yeah, it's not time to focus yet. So it's exactly what I needed to hear. So I appreciate that. Yeah, wonderful. So if our viewers wanted to get a reading with you, what are the options? How do you work?
They can visit my website, rebelstartarot.com. I have a booking tab. You click on the booking tab and you have a choice of a 30-minute reading or 60-minute reading with me on Zoom. And I also offer e-card readings, but the e-card reading I offer is special. I combine tarot and runes together to give you a collective message, and I send it out as a PDF file. With a picture, you'll get a picture of what's going on with the rune and the cards and an explanation. And going back to my Zoom services, because it's Zoom for the moment because of COVID, I took off my one-on-one ones. A 30-minute reading, you get the session recorded at your discretion. If you agree to have the Zoom conversation recorded, I put it up on my YouTube page as a private link that only the customer or client gets to watch for themselves for a week. They can review it all they want. And I also send you a picture of your card spread too by email or message after.
Yeah, which is super helpful because I can go back and reread it and listen to your reading, and it's really, really helpful to do that. I love that idea. Yeah. Well, wonderful. We are going to include all the information in the description box below so that everyone can just scroll down and click on the link and book in with you for some fun readings.
Perfect, thank you.
No, thank you so much for coming all the way out here, and thank you for the reading. Honestly, it's kind of like allowed me to take a breath. And
it makes me so happy when I do a reading, and if it's bang on or with somebody there, it's you could ask Christine, my wife, that I'm like super out. I won't shut up about it for the next half hour or hour.
Oh,
and
good.
I'm super happy that when it connects with somebody, when that energy connects, that's a reward right there for myself. That I know personally I'm on the right path of what I'm doing, and I'm helping out others also too, and finding their direction or what they're looking for as well. That's why I chose the lighthouse symbol for Rebel Star Tarot. It's that guiding light. It's that beacon
That is
to
perfect.
light up your path. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you served mine. You
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
really did. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so I guess that's another episode.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
And subscribe
And if you like the video, hit the like button.
and hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss an episode.
Because I'd love to have you back on again.
Yeah.
Or if
Definitely.
we could maybe talk of runes.
Runes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be
That
up
would
for
be
that.
fun.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, stay
All right.
tuned.
Take care, everyone. Bye.